NBA targeting a July 31st return date, and they're still up in the air about if it's going to be playoffs or everyone comes back, right?
Say that again.
The NBA, they're
Yes.
they're still undecided on like the format and how many teams and all that, right?
Yeah, they still don't know. They're exploring some fun options. It's again, seems almost irrelevant, but the only thing that's really curious about it is that the last couple seeds in the West were somewhat open. Like if they just continued the season normally. And I think the NBA is also a smart league because a couple of those teams are really well liked, like the Trailblazers. I mean, they've been a good teams in past years. Dame Lillard's a big star. Zion and the Pelicans are still in it. So I think Adam Silver is a very smart man, and he says, hey, if we can get these guys involved, let's figure out a way to do it while still not inviting teams like the Knicks and Cavaliers that are terrible because they don't need to be around. So they've talked about some different formats to mess around with. And again, they're, here's a corny thing. Anything can be an opportunity. Oh, and Jake jumped out the window. Anything can be an opportunity, and the NBA has wanted to experiment with some stuff for a while. So there's a chance they could open this up more, almost make it a cup or an invitational, like how soccer has different tournaments. And they could make, I think Mark Cuban was pushing this, that they could make this a separate tournament, call it like the David Stern Cup or something like that. And then you could have a normal NBA championship. And that way you almost create two championships. And I know the NBA has been jealous of the European soccer leagues that do things like this for a while now. So it'll be interesting to see where they land. Either way, we should be getting some good competitive basketball. And is COVID still an issue?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that if basketball and hockey are playing, and then baseball still says they need all those guidelines of like throw the ball out,
right,
can't stand next to each other. I mean, you got NHL and basketball playing. Those guys are breathing on each other nonstop. Yeah.
Go try to block a shot. Guard someone.
Are you going to be more?
Fouls are literally when you make contact with people.
Are you going to be mad if Corona doesn't come back?
No.
Okay.
I think, and what Jim, here's my thing that people are afraid to say, and it's my strength. I have no idea. There was a pandemic that we didn't know enough about that was coming through hard. So I think we had to shut down either way and then make a new plan. Where I got mad, and you saw this, was when the smart people started fighting and said, no herd immunity. And it's like, yeah, there's no herd immunity because we all stayed inside. And then the others, that's when I get into chaos. But dude, it seems like we just kind of are going to have to live in a functioning world where you wear a face mask and you don't touch strangers and you can't kiss strangers, BBD.
Shit. I'm just saying if all these protests and all this happens and mass gatherings, right? And there's no uptick.
Right.
Then it's going to be like, someone answer. You got to answer.
Yeah.
You got to give me some answers on that.
I mean, that's
and if there is an uptick, that's sadness on top of sadness on top of sadness.
that would make more sense with the path of how everything's going, right? But no, I think my thing, I guess, where there's no anger is because I was kind of already at grips with like what's going on. Like you saw it too. Like, the parks have been pretty busy. Society's like started going again. And this this might just put it over the top where it's like, hey, if you want to go to a concert, fuck it.
Yeah, we'll see. If there's no uptick, then people are going to just start having crowds again.
Like if you're old, be super careful. If you're sick, be super careful. Low immune, I get that. And, you still have to be conscious if you're interacting with one of those people. But outside of that, people are done.
Yeah.